Hey everyone, we're going to be doing a quick deck profile for Gokis. So ever since the cyberse deck profile, I just felt that Gokis needed a deck profile for themselves as well. So I might as well just do it because both decks have really similar playstyles and I figured this might be fun to do. So we're playing 3 of each Gouki really, so I might as well just lay them all out. So 3 Rai Scorpio, 3 Suprex, 3 Twist Cobra, and of course the 3 head bats. So let's see if I can fit them all into frame. So yeah, we're playing 3 of each. Right now we're just maxing out on all of them simply because the other Gouki cards haven't been released yet. They're currently out in OCG. And until then we might as well just max out on the current ones out there because they only make up 12 monsters in our entire deck. So moving on, we are also playing 3 Marauding Captain. It does special summon a monster from your hand, but if you do special summon a Gouki and you do link summon with that Gouki monster you special summoned, then you can just add another Gouki card from your deck to your hand to replace the one that was sent to the graveyard. So overall, you're not really losing out on cards, which is really nice here. Marauding Captain is one of the few cards that actually can work in Goukis pretty well. And we're also playing 3 Spell Striker, again another Earth Warrior monster. We'll get to why it's so important that we're playing Earth Warriors, but Spell Striker can extend your plays by special summoning itself simply by banishing 1 spell card from your graveyard, so it's really simple to actually pull that off. We are also playing 2 Motivating Captain. Right now I'm just testing out 2, I might play a third one depending on what it can actually do, but it is pretty good considering it's the same thing as Marauding Captain, only it special summons a level 4 lower from the graveyard. The only difference is that it does special summon it in defense position and its effects are negated. So sometimes you might just want to special summon with the Marauding Captain's effect to attack your opponent, or if it's your first turn, you don't have any Gouki cards in your graveyard, so Motivating Captain is just a dead card in your hand. So overall, I like this ratio of playing 2 Motivating Captains and 3 Marauding Captains instead. Alright, so to end things off with monsters, we are playing 1 Link Slayer. I've been testing this out. It is an Earth monster. It's not a warrior monster, which is kind of unfortunate, but it does special summon itself, and I think it's actually pretty good in this deck. It was just a spare that I had from my cyberse deck, and it does work, and having the ability to also destroy spell cards your opponent controls is not too bad. To end things off, we are playing 1 Gofu, because why not? I think Gofu should be played in every single deck right now, simply because it's just a 1-card decode talker. It's so easy to bring out, and all you have to do is control no monsters. Alright, so moving on to spells, of course we're going to be playing 3 Gouki Rematch. Might as well, right? It's a monster reborn of 2 Gouki monsters in defense position, and you can only activate it once per turn, but I still think it's an amazing card, considering that you just keep searching it anyway. I wish that we could play like 10 copies if we could, because it's just so good. So moving on, we are playing 3 Transmodify. So this is the reason why we wanted to play mostly warriors in our deck. So the reason why we want to play warriors in our deck is because you can send a face-up monster you control to the graveyard, special summon from your deck 1 monster with the same type and attribute. So being an Earth Warrior is also very important since all the Goukis are Earth Warriors. But it also works on Spell Striker and Marauding Captain as well. And also even Motivating Captain. But basically you special summon a monster that's 1 level higher, and you can only activate it once per turn, but I still think 3 is really amazing. This card works a lot better in Goukis than it does with World Chalice, which I've tested out before as well. We're going to be playing 2 Mystical Space Typhoon. I don't like playing Twin Twisters in this deck simply because you're losing cards from your hand, even though yes, Goukis will search for more Goukis from the deck, but the unfortunate thing is we still do need those cards in our hand as part of resources, so I don't want to expend it too much, and we are playing Link Slayer already in our deck, so we might as well just stick to Mystical Space Typhoon instead. You could opt to play Cosmic Cyclone instead, but Mystical Space Typhoon is good enough. Then we're playing one Reinforcement of the Army because everything is warriors in this deck, so it's really good, except for Link's Lair. One Dark Hole, you could play Raigeki if you want. Funnily enough, Dark Hole actually is a lot better than Raigeki, simply because if your Gokis get sent to the graveyard, you're just going to search for more Gokis anyway from your deck. And that will also open up your field if you happen to have a Gofu in the hand, or if you have a Link Slayer in the hand. So it's not too bad to play Dark Hole. To wrap things up with spells, we're playing one Mind Control because we just get to take our opponent's monsters. Again, I have mentioned in the cyberse deck profile that I might even want to play Brain Control in that, and same thing applies for Gokis as well. Brain Control seems like a pretty good card to actually take into this deck as well. We're also going to be putting in one Scapegoat, simply because it can work. If you activate this at the end of your opponent's turn, then on your turn you pretty much bring out a Firewall Dragon right off the bat. Really nice, really easy. And then we're playing one United We Stand. This is actually a really good card. I've been testing this card out a lot. If you don't like it, you could take it out, put in a Raigeki or something like that. But United We Stand works by giving your monster 800 attack and defense for each face-up monster you control. So with Gokis, it's easy to spam out monsters on the field, especially with Gouki Rematch that just automatically brings back 2 from the graveyard. So I think United We Stand is a really great card. It's definitely helped me finish a few games already, so really great card. Alright, so let's wrap things up with traps. So we are playing 5 trap cards, and yes, it is a pretty fast format, but trap cards do work, because pretty much we special summon with these Gokis, we search for more. It's pretty fast deck in general, and we might as well add in a bit of defense with some trap cards. So starting things off, Torrential Tribute. If your opponent wants to overcommit, they don't expect this coming, so you can just activate it, destroy all their monsters. Who cares if your Gokis get destroyed, because you can just search for more Gokis anyway from your deck. And I actually think it's a really good card to play if you know how to play it right on the right moment. We're also playing one Ring of Destruction, simply because it just helps chip away at our opponent's life points, as well as get rid of one of their monsters, and I think it's pretty decent. We're not really losing life points with any other card effects anyway, so Ring of Destruction is definitely a great card. We are also playing one Jar of Avarice, so I was thinking about playing Exodius, the Ultimate Forbidden Lord, to shuffle back all my monsters into the deck, because the Gokis will keep searching over and over, and it's a great way to recycle. However, we cannot recycle Gouki Rematch, which is the spell card, with Exodius, but with Jar of Avarice, we can shuffle back the Gouki rematches, so definitely like playing this. I might even bump it up to 2 because of how fast the deck actually is, and you do fill up your graveyard pretty quickly, but for now I'm just testing out 1 and it's not too bad. To end things off, we're playing 2 Call of the Horned. If your opponent activates Mystical Space Typhoon to destroy Call of the Horned, or if anything happens to Call of the Horned, then you can destroy the card that it brings back, and you can also chain this card, bring back a Gouki monster, and obviously when that Gouki monster gets destroyed, add more Gouki cards. So 2 is pretty good. Might drop 1 to add in the second Jar of Avarice, but those are the traps. Alright, so before I move on to the extra deck, I do have to mention one thing. Just like the cyberse deck, I don't have Borolo Dragon, I don't have Topologic Bomber Dragon, and I don't have Gaia Saber, as well as I don't have Gouki the Thunder Ogre, which is the one that came out in Circuit Break. But overall, if you guys do have those cards, definitely try and put them into the extra deck. I think they're a lot better than what I'm going to be showing you, but it will definitely give you guys a general idea of what to play. So to begin, we're playing 3 Gouki the Great Ogre. This card is still better than Thunder Ogre that came out, because it just reduces all your opponent's attack, and you can just deal a lot of damage on your opponent. So really great card to finish games off, and a lot of my opponents have a lot of difficulty getting over this. Then we are playing 2 Firewalls. Honestly, you can just take them out, put in Borolo, put in Topologic, or put in Gaia Saber, a lot better cards, and you could also put in Thunder Ogre in substitution instead, so a lot better. We are definitely going to be playing 2 Deco Talkers, opens up 2 slots in your main monster zones, and definitely great to just go for. It's really easy to get into anyway. We are also playing 2 Trigate Wizard, just putting it in there so you can just put in Gouki the Thunder Ogre instead. We are also playing 2 Proxy Dragons and 2 Mrs. Radiance because, well, why not? And I'm just putting in 2 Encode Talker even though I can't get into it. It's just pretty much to fill in the spot for Gouki the Thunder Ogre and also Gaia Saber, Borolo Dragon, Topologic. It's up to you really on what you want to play in this extra deck, but it does give you a good idea. I decided to play a pure Link extra deck simply because it makes it more consistent, and it just depends on how many monsters you have on the field, which allows you to go into these cards. So yeah, that's an idea for you guys to actually see, but I might even bump up the Mrs. Radiant because this deck actually just attacks most of the time, and your opponent just doesn't see it coming because, I mean, in this particular meta, no one ever plays trap cards anymore, so they don't even see you going for these massive attacks all at one go. And it's just really easy to beat your opponent, despite the fact that this deck's purpose is meant to be a fun deck and a casual deck. Alright, so I hope you all enjoyed this deck profile. It's a really fun deck, and it's something that you just bring out to play with your friends, and it does a lot of fun plays, everything, a lot of combos that goes into a lot of Link monsters. So yeah, definitely a fun deck. I compare it to cyberse, but I do think it is the better deck compared to cyberse, simply because it has good recovery. When you send the Gouki monsters to the graveyard, you can just keep adding more, whereas cyberse doesn't do that. So with that being said, I'd rather play Goukis than cyberse if I wanted to be a little more competitive. However, in terms of fun, it definitely does do the exact same thing, those 2 decks. So yeah, I might be doing another Gouki deck profile on a different build, and yeah, I just hope I can get that card, because that same card that I'm mentioning will also be used in my other cyberse deck profiles as well. That's pretty much it, so hope you guys enjoyed this video and hope you guys have a great day. I'll see you next time.